can you go over how to trade the open for something with that has a huge gap up to the upside? But I do want to show you, I can show you what I did off the open this morning. Now, I want you, so each bar represents 2 minutes of trading, and I want you to take a look, right, at the first 2-minute bar, which is here. Now, at a certain point, this bar, right, trades up during its first 2-minute period. It's not, the 2-minute hasn't finished yet, but at some point during the initial open of Twitter, it ran up. Now, I was with about 60 of my traders at the time. I told them that I was going to short into this bar because of the excessive gap up, right? If, all right, half of the green, right, about 40% or to 50% of the green was eliminated. And so at this point, I'm going to short if we drop back down. So boom, I go into short right there, okay? And the stock drops. Now, this doesn't look like a big drop, but it's a fairly big drop, okay? I take some of the profits off here on that initial short, okay? Well, let me show you. Let's eliminate that. So I'm in on the short here, more or less, okay? Boom. Okay? I'm out of some down here. Boom. Then I refresh. So I start, let me show you why I refresh my short orders. So let's now look at that tail bar as red. This tail bar is now red because it dropped, right? Let's look at this whole move down as red now. So now, what do I tell you to do with strong moves? Cut them in half, right? So as I take profits down here on my shorts, I refresh the shorts around halfway. So these moves up get me more short. Boom, I take profits again and refresh again. More short, boom, and then drop and refresh again. Now, this might be a little bit too advanced for some of the traders listening today. Let me see if I can move this over and expand it a little bit for you. So, you know, these are advanced strategies, but really all I'm doing, traders, is I'm shorting here, covering down here, reshorting here, covering again, reshorting, covering again. And this was my last cover. Now, that was good for close to $4,000, all of those collective trades combined. And what I went over with my traders, we did this live. So what I went over with my traders is this. I'm like, people will look at this area of Twitter and basically see a bowl of spaghetti. It will make no sense. But what I'm trying to teach them is to look through the bars. Do you understand? I'm trying to teach them to look through the bars. And so if you look through the bars, you'll see nothing more than this. Drop, rally, drop, rally, drop. You see? Rally, drop. Now that's looking through the bars and just capturing the essence of the movement. The individual bars are our creation. There are no individual bars in the market. I can change these individual bars from 2 to 5 to 15 to 1 hour. All right, the divisions we create. But over time, a trader has to develop a feel for seeing through the bars and just capturing the essence of what the stock is doing. All right, this stock, because of this fall, this stock is trapped between, see, this is red. So this stock has a lot of resistance because of that red. It's going to be hard to break through that resistance. So when do the odds suggest that it's going to be a little easier if the stock gets away from the trouble? The same way, if you have a bad relationship, right, and it's a painful relationship, the pain right away will stop you from doing things. Boom, it's right away. You're not going to be able to get up right away and just be good again. So this pain, this original pain, it's hard to get up right away and be good unless I have time. And now time has created distance away from the pain. And so now I can start eating my way through this former pain that is now in the distant memory. And so I'm always doubting any attempt to fight pain right away, right? That's your pain. It's going to combat any attempt. And that creates an opportunity for me. Knowing that the odds of any up move is small, when it's an up move, I'm going to be like, boom, up move. Oh, you coming back again? That wasn't enough? Boom. Oh, you're giving me another opportunity. Wow. Boom. Right? It's just too close to the pain. All right, guys. There you go. Guys, these are the things that I'm teaching my traders to do every single day. All right? Boom. Do you understand? Trying to come up there too close to pain. Boom. It's an opportunity for me. My method of trading is universal in nature. It will apply to any market in any time frame. Why? Because it is not specific to a market as much as it's built on the principles of human behavior around fear and greed. So basically, my method focuses on when does fear stop and greed begin? Now think about this, traders. Fear causes markets to decline. Drop, 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 drop. Let me demonstrate this on a chart. All right, so look. When fear causes markets to decline and greed causes markets to rise. Now, at some point right here, fear stopped and greed began. At some point, fear was running the race with the marathon, and at some point, fear passed the marathon. Running the marathon with a baton. At one point, fear passed the baton to greed, and greed took off. Now, this moment, both hands are on the baton. Both fear and greed's hands, there's a split second where both of them have the baton. Now, what does that moment look like? What if I told you that the moment of transfer from one to the other, here's the other scenario, where greed hands the baton back to fear, and fear takes off on his race. What if I told you that if you could capture these moments of transfer, what if I told you, traders, that there's only 7 pictures of that transfer? What if I told you that there's only 7 ways that fear can transfer to greed, and there's only 7 ways that greed can transfer back to fear? And if you know what each of the 7 ways looks like, you can make a frickin' fortune. You can support your whole life. That's what my method teaches. Now, check this out. Those 7 moments exist in every single market. I don't care if it's crypto. I don't care if it's options. I don't care if it's bonds. I don't care if it's futures. I don't care if it's stocks, Cabbage Patch dolls. I don't care if there was an exchange to trade mother-in-laws back and forth, you would see these 7 pictures. Wouldn't that be nice, guys? Yeah. Okay. The point is that just because you hand a human being a different financial product doesn't make their fear and their greed go away. So it's not like, oh, I'm greedy in the equity market, but I'm not greedy in the Forex market. No. If you're greedy everywhere. If you're fearful everywhere. And so when you have a method that's based on the dynamics between fear and greed, you can take that method anywhere because fear and greed exist everywhere.